I couldn't help but notice you was looking at the images there. Huh? It interests you? What do you know about these images? What do you know about it?
I've never heard of him. Never heard of him. And that struck me.
Yet, strangely, this very family, which would underwrite some of the world's great art, was also one of the most evil and mysterious in history.
And in the Last Supper picture, we can break down the Da Vinci Code right here. You don't need to pay and go to the movie. In the Leonardo da Vinci picture, the Last Supper, he's in the picture 3 times, and his sister Lucretia is in the picture twice. Look at it right here. 1, 2, 3. Same guy. And guess what? You paid nothing for that.
The Borgia family has become the arch symbol of treachery, of decadence, of violence, of assassination, of carnal lust, of every manner of moral turpitude we can think of.
The Borgia's reputation for depravity is nearly unparalleled in history.
Are you saying that he was an imposter?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What we're saying, listen what we're saying here. We're saying that we know that this image was not by chance that they drew this guy. We're saying that according to scripture, the Vatican, under Rodrigo Borgia, all right, the 6th Pope, his son name was Cesare. Cesare Borgia was a poison.
Pope Alexander VI, the father of several illegitimate children, said to have concocted a deadly recipe for poison, which he routinely used to silence his enemies. Juan, his evil-tempered eldest son, believed to have ordered the execution of a dinner guest over an unintended insult. Cesare, the most skillful and vicious military tactician of his day, accused of slashing the throat of his elder brother, Juan.
So I can show it. I want you to see this because the majority of people don't know that this image wasn't drew like this by chance. There was a competition during the time called the Renaissance period. Yes, there was a competition between Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo to challenge to see who could impress the king into making a new image that would deceive the earth.
Couldn't we at least let Black Jesus hang alongside?
Forget it. The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner.
Mama, how do we know Jesus wasn't black? He could have been from the lost tribe of Israel. They were supposed to be black.
I bet they were. If ever people were lost, we're it.
Now just hush up, both of you. This picture has been in my family for as long as I can remember. When I was a baby, I don't know what I saw first. My mama, my papa, or this Jesus. Now, he's the one I know and love. So let's close the subject. Jesus was black, the Bible would have said so.
But it does say so.
What are you talking about?
I read about it. It's in Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. His hair is like wool, and his eyes are like flame of fire.
Well, Lord have mercy. It sure do say that, don't it?
Apocrypha. So the original King James had the Apocrypha in it. In 1928, under the Vatican, they made an agreement to take 14 books out of the Holy Bible, because they understood God's people would wake up at the end and want answers. Now, understand this. Thousands of years before the Europeans put this image up, it was written up in Wisdom of Solomon that they would do this and the reason for it. Want me to read it? Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, I made a statement that this was written up in the Apocrypha, and that's why the Roman Catholic Church pulled it out. Pulled it out of the Bible. Now, another thing. This is the biggest part about it. They knew what God's people really looked like when they did this. Now, I'm going to bring that around too. Because first of all, Christ and his people were not Europeans. You know that, right? Now, go to Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 8. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 8. Read.
But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well as it, as he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being corruptible, it was called God.
Being corruptible, that image was called God. Now, when the little slaves wake up and say, I want to find Jesus. Here's your Jesus. Here's your God. You see that? That's psychological warfare. You see that? There's more they took out. Read.
For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both like hateful unto God. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it.
So the Vatican and all that put that up, there's a future judgment for this. Because there was a mindset behind this. There was an idea they were pushing during the Renaissance period. And it wasn't good for mankind.
Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of God they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men.
See that? By doing this, it'll become a stumbling block to the souls of men. Because kids, children, learn different than adults. So when I was a child, I opened up the Bible and I seen pictures of this guy. And I seen my grandmother and grandfather following it. So I was like, you know what? These must be the people that I'm reading of in the Bible. And I can't even include myself. That's total exclusion. You see that? Now if I don't have no self-pride or any connection with anything biblical, and I'm taught to follow the Bible, then that's a form of self-hatred. I learned to hate myself and love others. They understood what they was doing when they did this. They brought it to the whole world. Over in Rio right now, you got an image of him like this. Cesare, in Italian.
And a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
This was the beginning of spiritual fornication. Read.
And the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
This wasn't from the beginning, neither will it be forever. Read.
For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world.
By the vainglory of men, these images entered into the world. Because people wanted to glorify themselves. Read on.
And therefore shall they come shortly to an end. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning,
Rodrigo Bogier,
when he had made an image of his child,
Cesare,
soon taken away, now honored him as a god.
Honored him as a god, read.
Which was then a dead man.
He was a dead man in Rome, read.
And delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
Use this image to bring forth ceremonies and sacrifices to the new
In the
world.
summer of 1503, after attending a dinner party, Alexander and his son Cesare were overcome by a mysterious malady. For days, both hovered near death. Had they fallen victim to illness or intrigue? Cesare recovered. Alexander, a man in his early 70s, did not. The family seemed menaced by a sinister curse, for Cesare was also to meet a violent end, hacked down on the battlefield in the year 1505. Although he could not have known it, and might not have cared, Cesare's ruthless cunning and political dexterity would earn him a unique immortality.